Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I want to go over. These aren't necessarily my top 10 favorite games of all time, but these are like the top 10 that like really meant something to me in my life. You know, at different points in my life, and some of these games have actually kept me in gaming as well. Because there were times, I mean, like as you're growing up, you know, I'm 40 now. There's times where you feel like, oh my gosh, man, am I doing the right thing? Should I be doing, you know, should I move away from gaming and let that, you know, and let that part of me, you know, kind of just go by the wayside and, you know, focus on other things like my career and things like that. So some of these games have gotten me through some, um, and some of these have gotten me through some. You know, some interesting times in my life. So um hold on, I need to fix this. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do these. um I had to swap a game out because I mean I do like that one, but the other one just has more relevance. More relevance because that was like kind of a turning point for me at that point. So okay, all right. The number one game on my list that stuck with me, because I played this game for a long time, and it was just really great. So Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I played this game. This was like the first real experience I had with an action RPG where where you would like level up and stuff. Because normally before that, I just played like a lot of you know, like racing games, and I never really took, you know, I really wasn't, you know, maybe taking gaming as seriously as I should have. I played this on the PlayStation 1, back right when it first came out, and it was an amazing game. So I love that. I mean, PlayStation 1 was such a really good time for me as a gamer. So um, PlayStation 1 is always going to have that. Like that was like the first time I actually considered myself more of a like hardcore, well, not hardcore gamer, but when I started like really like I mean, I was old enough to work and have my own job, and I was able to, you know, try to get my own things. So that was when I first broke open the doors and just started experiencing as many games as I could get my hands on. And to tell you the truth, I mean, I played so many games on the PlayStation 1, like I, I don't even remember a lot of them, you know, because a lot of them, you know, were just, you know, I mean, it was fun. Like PlayStation 1 was a really fun time. The second game on my list is The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3, I had a really up and down, you know, relationship with this game. So when I first started playing it, like I thought it was just, you know, I just thought it was another run of the mill game or whatever. It honestly wasn't until my second playthrough that like it hit me, and it hit me hard about like, wow, dude, The Witcher 3 is one freaking hell of an amazing game. So like because I'd never played The Witcher before, and this is the first thing, you know, the first one that like caught my eye, and I was like, whoa, because I'm like really into open worlds. So when I saw The Witcher 3, you know, coming out for PlayStation 4 and stuff, I was like, wow, man, I got to play that. That looks really cool. You know, I love the art style, I love the setting, you know, that medieval type setting, you know. So I was like, I was really into that. So I ended up picking that up, you know, kind of just played through it, and I was like, it didn't even really, like the first playthrough really didn't even sit with me that much. So like the second playthrough that I did, and I replayed through this again once I bought it on the Xbox Series or Xbox One X. I replayed through it again, and everything started clicking, you know, because now I'm an experienced Witcher. You know, I understand, you know, the Witcher, you know, because at first I was just bumbling around and not doing anything. So my second playthrough, I was taking my time and like doing things, and you know, it was a much better experience the second time around, like way better. And I'm working on the third now, and it's been even better since then. I have postponed my third playthrough until I actually get the next gen upgrade for that game, and then I'm just gonna restart it and go through the whole thing again. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty fun. Uh, the next game on my list is Assassin's Creed, the first one, not any of the other ones. The first one, the first Assassin's Creed. Though it's almost borderline unplayable now. I mean, it's still playable. It just, it looks extremely dated now. So this game is one of the first times that I was like, wow, man, I really like that. I like the historical setting to the Assassin's Creed games. I buy them every time right when they come out. My next favorite one after that would be Odyssey. Well, Unity and Odyssey are pretty close. I like all those. But Assassin's Creed in the PlayStation 3 era is what kept me into gaming. Because I was struggling at that point, trying to not move away from gaming, but trying to focus more on being a grown up or whatever, because that came out when I was 27, and I was still growing and trying to figure out what was going on. So Assassin's Creed definitely helped me stay in gaming, helped me keep my foot in the water, to continue to play video games, and that just kind of blossomed. I mean, like I did have kind of a wavering period, all through the PlayStation 3, 360 generation. But, PlayStation 4, completely got rid of all that. Xbox One, completely got rid of that. Like I'm right back into gaming where I should be. The next one is Castlevania Lords of Shadow. So this game came out right after my son passed away. So, this was the first game I played after that. Like this experience is always just going to be with me because of that. I love this game. I thought it was great. I did not like the second follow-up to it as much. To be completely honest with you, I haven't even finished the second one just because of the transition from consoles to the next gen, to the next gen PlayStation 4 and stuff, and they didn't move that one over. So that one kind of got stuck in limbo for me, because I moved on too fast and didn't buy any of the games before that. So so that was kind of a rough transition during that generation from 3 to 4, PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4, and Xbox 360 to Xbox One. That was like the roughest transition I think I've ever had, moving across generations. Like I just completely left everything. I didn't even play Gran Turismo 6. Everything that was coming out then, I kind of just left back there. I do own Lords of Shadow 2 on the Xbox Series X, so I can get back there and play that whenever I need to. The next one on my list is Death Stranding. Death Stranding, like The Witcher 3, is one freaking hell of an amazing game. Playing through this again, like everything just rushes back to you, and it gets, I believe it ages just like The Witcher 3. Like the second playthrough is way better because now I'm an experienced porter, so now I get to play the game as it was meant to be played in the first place, from start to finish, knowing, kind of like what my role is and what I'm supposed to be doing. So it's a much better experience this time around than it was last time, for sure. The next one on this list is going to be Tenchu. I would say this was my first, well, no, I don't know if it's necessarily my first, because there was Metal Gear Solid. So, I think this was my first, like, real, like, wow, dude, this is cool. Like, stealth games are cool. So now I love stealth games. I go back to them often. I wish there was a new Splinter Cell coming out. I really wish they would remake or bring out a brand new Tenchu. The closest we've gotten since then was Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. So that was a good experience. I definitely love playing that. It really put me in my place trying to play it like Tenchu. Yeah, that didn't go over too well. I mean, it was kind of all right, but I would have liked, for that game to be more like a Tenchu game than what it turned out to be. But I still love it either way. Number 7 is Control Remedy. Control Remedy is one freaking hell of a game. Because of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, I really appreciate that Metroidvania type stuff, and Control Remedy satisfied me on so many levels with that gameplay. I've played through Control Remedy probably 3 times now, and I still haven't platinumed it. Go figure. I should have probably platinumed it, like the second or third time I went through it, but I just went through the story those times. Whereas the first time I got closest, I was like 96% to platinum that game after one playthrough. So, I mean, that was a that's an amazing experience that I really love. I really appreciate that. Um, Number 8 on my list is Resident Evil 2. I loved Resident Evil 1. Resident Evil 2 is by far that experience that like really, really sunk its claws into me with the survival horror. After Resident Evil 2, I was stuck. I played through every single Resident Evil game from then till now. The reason why Resident Evil 2 is here and not the other Resident Evils that I think are far superior or better is because Resident Evil is the one that got its hooks into me and kept me in there. So that one is definitely, a part of this list. Gran Turismo 4 is number 9. I would have done the same thing with like Gran Turismo 1 or 2, as I did with the Resident Evil 2, but Gran Turismo 4 was by far the best Gran Turismo they ever made. It was freaking phenomenal. I love that game. I've spent thousands of hours playing that game. I probably spent, well, not thousands, but I probably spent a good 1,000 hours playing that game. Like, I played that one so freaking much that it was unbelievable. And then number 10 is God of War 2. Like, God of War 2. Yeah, that game definitely stuck with me. I really liked that game. I do believe the new God of War is an amazing game, and I love how that game grew up with me. I was, younger and rambunctious back when God of War 2 came out, so I kind of resonated with Kratos a lot more then. But now that he's older and I'm older, like, I resonate more with him now. So I would say, God of War 2 and God of War, the new God of War, I'm pretty freaking close to being to giving me that same experience and that same like wow factor. I will say that I think God of War, the new God of War, is probably the most impressive video game I've ever seen. Like, I really appreciate the visuals of that, and I really am looking forward to the next game. So, yeah, that's my list of top 10 most memorable games that like really stuck with me, especially because of the points in life that I was at when I played these games originally. It was definitely a tough, well, not a tough one, but like this was a really hard list to figure out, to tell you the truth. I've been working on this for a little while, and really going back and thinking about all these, because I know I've said on this channel before that, oh yeah, like there's probably no PlayStation games in my top 10, but the truth of the matter is almost all of these games were on PlayStation. You know what I mean? Like, I've been a PlayStation guy for 25 years, so yeah, a lot of these experiences, Castlevania, PlayStation, Witcher 3, PlayStation, Assassin's Creed, PlayStation, Castlevania Lords of Shadow, I did play that on Xbox 360 actually. Death Stranding, PlayStation, Tenchu, PlayStation, Control Remedy, yep, you guessed it, PlayStation. Actually, no, Control Remedy was Xbox. Resident Evil 2, PlayStation, Gran Turismo 4, PlayStation, God of War, PlayStation. So like 2 of those games I played on Xbox. The rest of them, like, so I mean, that's just, that really, I mean, like, that really kind of opened my eyes, going back and like looking through all these games and stuff. And I mean, yeah, there was games on the regular Nintendo and Sega Saturn and all them other systems in between that I've had, because I've owned everything, like Dreamcast. But when I come back to it, I mean, like Shenmue, definitely an amazing experience, but and it probably should be on this list. I mean, if there was a spot for 11, Shenmue would definitely be there. But I just, there was nothing really like significant going on during that time for Shenmue, so I didn't put that one on there. I do like Shenmue 1 and 2. I played both of those. So, yeah, so essentially, basically all of my top 10, games were on the PlayStation for the most part, or I could have got them on the PlayStation. So, yeah, that just had me thinking. I've been thinking about this list for a while, and I wanted to go ahead and make that, and just kind of put that out there. These are some of the games that have kind of changed things about me and how I see things as a gamer. And if your favorite game's not on this list, I'm sorry. I mean, it's probably on my list somewhere, But yeah, these are those top 10 experiences that really affected me in my life, or really kept me, in the gaming, into gaming. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.